What is bankruptcy? What is bankruptcy in England and Wales? I placed this interesting, nice, relaxed picture with a couple of guys with a beautiful lady surrounding them. You can see they're on the yacht, probably somewhere in Mediterranean, and it's the beautiful coastline behind them. So for some people, bankruptcy may sound as an easy option, especially if people from countries like Lithuania or Latvia, where bankruptcy itself is much more drastic, thinking about England as bankruptcy paradise. What is bankruptcy? Put it simply, bankruptcy is one way of dealing with debts you cannot afford. And those debts, they can be various. It could be personal loan, credit cards, it could be utility bills, it could be quite a few different things that really we can talk about. All those things, you have debts, you have creditors, you're unable to pay them. So you say, well, look, cannot do it, please help. Don't think situation will change for any better. Then what's happening? You file for bankruptcy, meaning that first you need to prepare your bankruptcy application. Process takes a few hours. Second, you need to submit that application to the adjudicator of bankruptcy in England and Wales. Nicely, it's done online. Then bankruptcy adjudicator considers your application during 28 days' time. Sometimes it could take longer, they can ask for an extension. Normally, most of the bankruptcies in England and Wales are decided upon by the adjudicator within 28 days. Many of my clients, they have their decisions for bankruptcy within a week, I would say 5 to 7 days. Maybe because the adjudicator is so efficient, maybe because I've been doing bankruptcies for a while, who knows? I think it's a bit of both. So secondly, once the adjudicator decided, well, the person considered your application, they decided to make you bankrupt, it means the bankruptcy order is issued. The bankruptcy order, piece of paper sent to your email address. After that, a person called bankruptcy trustee or the official receiver from the government department insolvency service becomes involved. And what that official receiver does, they consider your income and expenditure. They see how you've been acting before you became bankrupt. There are some advantages and disadvantages, then we can get to it in a minute. However, if that person, that official receiver, finds nothing wrong, as in the majority of cases, for your bankruptcy, then after 12 months, your debts included in bankruptcy will be written off. Many debts can be included in bankruptcy. Debts, for instance, utility bills, council tax overpayment, or taxes, debts and taxes, personal loan, credit cards, debts to private individuals. All those debts can be included in bankruptcy and can be written off. However, there are some debts are excluded from bankruptcy. Debts that were results of criminal orders, for instance, or student loans, or debts that were results of injuries to other people. What happened to them is a different story. However, those debts need to be paid. Also, child maintenance debts cannot be included in bankruptcy, need to be paid as well. Debts from matrimonial proceedings, so divorce, cannot be included in bankruptcy and must be paid as well. There are a number of exceptions. However, main advantage that's in 12 months, majority of debts, consumer debts, will be written off. Disadvantages of bankruptcy. For bankruptcy is a process that requires some restrictions. So for instance, for 12 months, just for 1 year, you will not be able to be a company director or take part in promotion of such company. No shareholder, for instance, as well. During the 12 months of your bankruptcy, you will not be able to obtain credit over £500 without disclosing for your bankruptcy to your potential creditor. Your assets may be sold, Your house may be sold as well, your car, up to the value, in my experience, of £2,000 can be saved. This is the really, really positive thing about bankruptcy. If you need a car for business or for your family needs, up to £2,000 can be sold. There are disadvantages for bankruptcies for solicitors, people involved in banking industry, for people working in financial services. For them, bankruptcy may be quite a serious thing, quite a negative impact. Also, in some cases, if you can pay, then you will be asked to pay. Nevertheless, bankruptcy is 1 year, but if you can make payments, those payments can last for up to 3 years. And in some drastic cases, bankruptcy could be extended for a period between 2 to 15 years, where bankruptcy offences were committed. For majority of cases in England and Wales, on average, about 20 to 25,000 people go in bankruptcy in England and Wales on an annual basis. For majority of those people, bankruptcy will last just for 12 months, so 1 year. How much you need to pay? For bankruptcy, you need to pay only £680. This is how much it costs to file your bankruptcy application to the adjudicator's office. £680. We charge fee for our services to help people to go through bankruptcy in England and Wales, and we talk about our fees and services in more details at a later stage. Bankruptcy is not the only one resort. There are alternatives. There are procedures called as debt relief order, DRO, IVA, or individual voluntary arrangements. Those procedures, they can be very effective. DRO is similar to bankruptcy, but for debts under £20,000, and IVA is an option where you repay debts within normally between 3 to 5 years, and the remaining balance, whatever you couldn't repay, will be written off. So there are alternatives to it. Bankruptcy is not the only option. However, bankruptcy, in my view, is an effective tool that could help you to write off your debts within 1 year, taking into account all the disadvantages. This is what a bankruptcy is.